Chris Watts thought he had the perfect plan. No witnesses, no evidence, no way to get caught. But what he didn't realize was that the entire crime would unravel because of one neighbor's security camera. August 13, 2018, Frederick, Colorado. Chris Watts claims he wakes up early for work, kisses his pregnant wife goodbye, and leaves like any normal morning. But nothing about this morning was normal. His wife, Shanann Watts, was 15 weeks pregnant. Their two daughters, Bella and Celeste, were inside the house. By that afternoon, all three of them were gone. Chris goes on TV hours later, begging for their return. If they're safe, just come back. To calm, no tears, no panic, just control. And that's where things start to fall apart. Because next door, his neighbor had a surveillance camera. Police review the footage. It shows Chris backing his truck into the driveway, something he never did before. He spends an unusual amount of time loading items into the truck. Standing next to the officer, Chris starts acting strange. He's swaying, fidgeting, watching the screen like he's already caught. That moment, that's when investigators knew. This wasn't a missing persons case. It was a crime scene. Now here's where it gets darker. Chris had been having an affair. Her name was Nicole Kessinger. They met at work, and within weeks, he was living a completely different life. Vacations, dates, searching online for how to start a new life. He even looked up wedding dresses, while his wife was still alive. Nicole later told police. Chris said he was separated, that his marriage was basically over. In reality, Shanann was actively trying to fix the relationship, texting him, asking what was wrong, completely unaware that he was planning to erase his entire family. Phone records show something chilling. The night before the murders, Chris and Nicole talked on the phone for 111 minutes. No one knows exactly what was said, but hours later, his family was dead. Then comes the evidence that destroys everything. At his job site, an oil field owned by Anadarko Petroleum, investigators make a horrifying discovery. Shanann's body, buried in a shallow grave, and his two daughters, hidden inside all tanks. It wasn't just murder. It was calculated, planned. And here's the part that sealed his fate. Chris failed a polygraph test. Investigators confront him, and within hours, his story changes. But the evidence didn't support that his made-up stories. Not the timeline, not the autopsy, not the scene. Eventually, he confesses. Chris confessed to murdering his entire family, not because of a sudden argument, not because he lost control, but because he wanted a completely new life. Today, Chris Watts is serving multiple life sentences without parole. Like and subscribe for more true crime with Mind Trace.